gear nerds, not pedal nerds, because this is not a pedal. Would be a damn cool pedal though. Kind of big for the board. Anyway, if you're looking for the quick and easy 10-minute demo, Glenn Fricker just released one of the Revv Generator 120 Mark II. Check it out. Glenn is shorter than I am. Or has it? No. Glenn has a shorter one than I have. That's what I'm trying to say. Video. So, you've seen these things. If you want to hear a Revv amp, not this one, but the 740 in perfection, with a lot of bite but definition, go to Robert Baker's videos. That little fucker can play and make a Revv sound amazing. Not that that's actually, difficult. So, let's look at the features of this amp. We're gonna start with the back. That's what she said, never. So, Leslie, please go in the back. There we go. I'm gonna describe that from here. Well, obviously, power input, we have external, fuses, but also external biasing points, which is great. I really like that. Effects loop serial with a big level knob to adjust it. All the different speaker ins and outs that you want. Speaker outs. We have cabinet lighting, which is cool because their own cabinet actually lights up when you use it. So if you have a Revv cabinet, that whole LED-ness will follow into the cab, and I think the cab will then, of course, I think, also light up in the channel color, who knows. MIDI in and MIDI through, yes, it's MIDI-fiable, all the switchy settings can be MIDified. Footswitch, I meant to get that. I shall be back. Yes, your Revv Generator 120 comes with a Footswitch, which is huge and awesome, and uses a Cat5 connector, and over here. And mode. Okay, you can... No, that's not over here. That's over here. One, I don't know what that does. Mode, 2, 3, 4 channels, effects on off, and masters, and also mute. Soft clicky switches, super mega sturdy thing. I think it comes with that. I really hope I'm saying that correctly. It should. For that price, it should come with a Footswitch. Moving on. And then in the back, we have the Footswitch input. And that's really it. You can see the tubes, which are... Wait, I'm so prepared. You can see the tubes, which are 6L6s. Okay, back to me. 6L6 loaded tubes, loads of little tiny tubes in the preamp, and they are called tiny tubes. We're gonna look at the front panel. It's not as confusing as you think. Let's go. So, this is channel 1, the blue channel. Then we also have a green channel, a purple channel, and a red channel. The little clicky switch here goes up and down to switch between those two channels. I love the visual feedback you're getting because a tiny light on stage, okay, can work, but this really gives you very clear indication of what channel you're currently in. It's way more than just a visual gag. It's definitely helpful. And if you custom order your amp from Revv, you can even get like little personal things engraved right here. I have a 740 on the way, which has Congo's paw right here. How cool is that? So the clean channel, no gain, because it's just clean. A bright switch, up and down, up is on. 3-band EQ, bass on the right, which is kind of weird. And level. And you can switch every channel between 120 and 10 watts. Now back to me. Now why would you do that? Is that for bedroom level? Yes, it is for bedroom level. 10 watts is much, much better than 120 at home. On the other hand, it is also to get these channels into power amp distortion or saturation much quicker. You're not going to push a 120 watt amp into, its power amp sound. Here, you can get that at 10 watts. So yes, it's at bedroom level, but also to get those more vintagey kind of power amp saturated sounds. We're going to try that. And back to the amp. Channel 2, the green channel. Here we have gain. Same thing, we have a bright switch. Everything exactly the same. Now, next channel, the purple channel. You can click this thing 3 times. Right now it's in mode 1, mode 2, mode 3, and that's called aggression modes. So there's 3 different stages for channel 3 and 4. That's a shitload of flexibility there, people. We have gain, we have bright, in this case just 1 switch. Okay, but the light shows you that's on. Treble, mid, and bass. So treble can be boosted with the bright. Mid can be changed with the contour, so you have a different kind of mid behavior. You have a bass, which can be fattened with a fat switch. Again, the 120 or 10 watt mode. And level. The same thing goes for the red channel. Again, when you push down again, 3 different modes. Gain, bright, different mid contour, fat for the bass, 120 or 10. That's it. The power amp section, 2 master volumes, switchable with your foot switch, of course. Presence and depth. And you have mute, which is very nice. So I wouldn't actually have to do this, because it was a little bit loud in this mode. So I can just mute it. FX loop can be globally turned off here and saved. And then you have store. So whatever you want to save, you go store. I'm assuming that, I'm not going to try this, but if you have a MIDI switch, you can just send it a program change, or you hit store, and then it's saved to that program change. It's probably very, very simple procedure. We're not going to have to get into that. That's what the manual is for, which of course I didn't read. Because Glenn Fricker says, manly men don't read manuals. Manly men don't read manuals. It says manual, so it should be something from mans. Sounds. Starting off with some single coilish sounds. With this LSL T-Bone. By the way, switch in the back is actually front. They reversed it because LSL takes drugs. Gonna go to channel 1. Wouldn't it be good if I had a foot switch? No. I do. It's right. It's right here. But we're not hooking that up because that would be convenient. Channel 1, I have in front of the amp a Keeley Compressor Pro, which rocks. In the effects loop, Abbey Chamber Reverb and a Strymon Brigadier analog delay. But right now, gonna turn that off. Here's a clean channel by itself. Oh, it's muted. Haha. It is an extremely pedal-friendly amp. The clean channel has its own character. I can't really put my finger on it. It's not an F-type-ish thing. It's not an M-type-ish thing. It's an R-type-ish thing. It's a Revv. I think from now on we might have to talk about those California sounds, those British sounds, the other kind of British sounds, and possibly the Canadian sounds. We should add Canadian sounds to that repertoire of when we reference classic sounds, because it is a little bit of its own thing. So I can't really do more here than just get it really loud. There the vintage warmth comes in. Get some more mids, some Ah, some bright. Some FX loop. The amp is always clean, it is always open, it is always defined, it never muddies up, it doesn't have shit tons of bass, which is good. That's what I like. I like an amp to not get into the bass drum and the bass player territory. This is killer. Now if you kick in the Keeley Compressor Pro, okay, come on folks. Doesn't get an awful lot better than that. Let's check out 10 watt mode. Well, who would have guessed it gets a lot quieter. And now I'm obviously pushing the power amp too. Let's turn the compressor back off. So yeah, that 10 watt mode is not just to make it quieter, it's also to give you different kind of sounds. Moving on, channel 2, green channel. I'm actually sitting right in front of this thing. Why doesn't Leslie say anything? Wait. Actually, if I move here, then you could see it, yes. Of course, I'm going into the Torpedo 2 Notes Studio. Let's see if we can do punky kind of stuff all the way up. Very saturated there now. Gonna get it more open. Gonna go to 10 watt and crank it up. The possibilities are ridiculous. Let's see, more mids here. Bright in. Oftentimes this amp gets seen and used as kind of like a metal monster. There's a lot more in this than just the heavy sounds. The cleans are amazing, and these crunchy sounds, holy crap. Let's push it with a Keeley compressor. It doesn't play the right notes for you. Shit ton of stuff. With this guitar, let's do a high gain sound, which it can do really well. Now the great thing is, if I want to go and tune that now, when I have a Tele or a T-style guitar, I want it a little bit fatter in the bass, so I click in the fat button. Button. Moving on to humbucker sounds. Here with my Framus Pantera 2 Master Build Merple. That's a pretty guitar. Okay. Just quickly going back to the clean channel with some humbuckers. Okay, some overdriven stuff in the green channel. If you're pushing that, it gets fuzzy. Fuzzy goodness, very cool. But this is where we want to be. Channel 3, that rhymes. That's just insane how it reacts, how it's still there, how it never gets muddy. I mean, I've got the fat switch in. It's all there, and it never really disappoints. Let's go to Crazy Channel, which is really just a different flavor. Both channels 3 and 4 have a lot of gain. So folks, what can I frickin' say? If you ask me, this is simply a brilliant amp. Clocks in at 2,900 euro, I think, around that, and it's worth every penny. There's quite a few amps out there, of course, that are brilliant, and in Germany you can get a Diesel Herbert, you can get a Diesel VH4, which follow a similar idea. They will sound like a Diesel. This sounds like a Revv. Okay, you can get some things from the Mesa, but they are always very, very thick in the bottom end, and for me, they're just too muddy. I know you can dial that in, but why spend time dialing in a mesa and finding, you know, the right sounds when this just has them. What I love about this is it never ever disappoints in the low end. It's there, but it's not too much. It's cleaned up everywhere. And I think the one thing, one word, if I had to say one word about the Revv Generator 120 Mark II, is tunable. I have this high gain sound, but I'm like, nah, I want it a little bit more bitey. And you know where to reach, either the bright switch, because it wasn't on, or the presence. You just know that you can subtly dial in everything you want. I want the mids to be slightly different. Well, you reach for the contour, bam, and there you are. It's not fat enough, or it's too fat. Well, either the EQ section or the fat switch will be your solution, or the deep in the power amp. There's just so many usable options that actually do something when you use them. Some amps have all these switches and you don't really know what they do. You go, what? Is there a difference? Now, the differences between the different aggression modes are subtle. It's more like a saturation kind of thing. But what I love is it's not just a high gain monster. The clean sounds are not just an add-on that's there, but it isn't really why you buy the amp. Everything that it does, from the clean to the really nice single coilish, slightly crunchy things that you can push with the compressor like we did and get gnarly sounds out of it, everything convinces. Does it clock in at quite a bit of money? Yes. Is it worth that money? Yes. Absolutely. I mean, the details of the front panel lighting up, being whatever, stained plexiglass, the whole back plate being cut out again. Let's see, show the amp back quickly. You know, the laser cut Revviness, that's just, can you see my finger here? Can you see my finger? No, you can't see. When you move every switch, every knob, everything feels high end. Like some other manufacturers, absolutely. I'm not saying that a Dietzel or Mesa or any of these amps is not worth their money full on, but they have their sound. They have their Mesa sound. A Dietzel sounds like a Dietzel. This sounds to me like a Revv, which is defined by an amp that's not very, very thick in the bottom, but that's why it works beautifully. That's why it's right in your face. And a sound with as much high-end bite as you want. As we could clearly see with the presence knob, you can get all the high-end in there. Listen to Robert Baker using his 740. There's a lot of bite in there, but it's not too much. It's always right. Then again, it's Robert Baker playing, and the fucker knows what he's doing. Check out his channel, Robert Baker, if you don't know it. Check out Glenn Fricke if you don't know him. Who doesn't know Glenn? Or Robert, or any of these guys. Sadly, this is going to France at some point. It's just here for the review, which is a little bit sad. But maybe one day we'll park a Revv Generator 120 Mark II here again. It is fun. Soon available at Thomann. Links below. Please support me if you care to do so. I want to thank you, and want to thank Derek, want to thank Guillaume. You don't know who these people are. You don't have to know that. And animals at the end, as always.
Sleeping by the telephone, hoping you might call someday. Treat me like a toy that's getting boring and you throw me away. I wonder what you're hiding from, wonder what the fuck went wrong. 'Cause once upon a time we were as merry as the day is long. I should have seen it